And our final film is inspired by real-life Hollywood fixer Paul Baresi, where two professional fixers who prefer to work alone find themselves forced to work together after being hired for the same job in the action comedy Wolves. Written and directed by Jon Watts, the film stars, of course, and reunites George Clooney and Brad Pitt for the first time, I think, in 16 years. It also stars Amy Ryan, Austin Abrams, and Poorna.
I'm not going to try it.
Jagannathan?
Yeah.
Jagannathan.
Yeah, okay, good.
All right. So this film premiered at the Venice Film Festival, which is why we didn't see it in Toronto because they bypassed it.
Yeah.
And let me just play with this one. Let's just be honest, man. Every time I've ever seen George Clooney and Brad Pitt together, they started out with the Oceans trilogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oceans 11, Oceans 12, Oceans 13. They had one scene together in Burn After Reading. But the one thing about this film, and it's very funny because you keep waiting for the moment, right? Every time the two of them are on film, actually, let me rephrase that. Even before we get on film, Charles, when they cast them and they're going to be in the same movie, you already know two things going in, right?
Yeah.
Whatever they plan, it's going to be cool. Because they're always cool in every movie. They're always wonderfully dressed. And the second thing, you got to have great dialogue. Because they got to have scenes where the two of them kind of go at each other and riff with each other, which sort of is what Wolves is all about. Wolves as a story, pedestrian. Am I wrong? I mean, it's okay.
It's okay, yeah.
Jon Watts did Spider-Man, right?
Yeah,
So he's a good director. You get him, you get these two guys together. The joy of watching Wolves is in watching the interaction between George Clooney and Brad Pitt, who everybody knows are some of the closest two guys. They're like best friends. It's like watching if Matt Damon and Ben Affleck did these roles, it would be the same sort of dynamic, right?
Well, kind of. I mean, they're friends.
They're friends. They're doing.
But the thing about Clooney and Pitt is whenever they get in the movie, they're trying to outcool each other.
Oh yeah. and Pitt can never win because Clooney's always gonna be cooler. I mean, again. Pitt is cool too.
He's cool.
But every time I look at their dynamic, like when they were in the Ocean's 11 series, it was 11 of these guys, but the two guys that everybody cared about were Pitt and Clooney, and then sometimes when Damon was in the mix, right? But they always clown Damon because Linus,
right.
But in this film, this is a story, as I said earlier. Let's just say that I think she's a district attorney. And she's a district attorney, and she's out just having some fun one night, and she picks up this young escort. That's not the word they use. I'm not an escort.
I'm not a prostitute.
I'm not a prostitute.
Okay.
And she picks him up for a night of fun, and let's just say it doesn't go well, and they've got to call in the wolf. Remember, in Pulp Fiction, it was Winston the Wolf. This time they call it a wolf. Somebody to clean it up, the fixer, right? And, the first fixer shows up and is played by George Clooney, and he's in the middle of doing his thing, and all of a sudden, there's another knock on the door, and a second fixer comes in, played by Brad Pitt. Now, the genius of this is that even in the screenplay, the way they wrote it, is that Clooney is there on behalf of the district attorney.
Right.
Pitt is there in the interest of the hotel, right? So they both have a shared interest. And as the story goes along, when they're doing the cleanup, let's just say the cleanup doesn't go right. And then there's this crazy scene where they're just riding around Harlem and Chinatown trying to chase down this kid. And I don't know how they did that stunt. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I'm like,
how did they? I went back and rewatched it and went, how did they even do that? Because you don't see a stunt man, which I'm sure they used one, but I don't know how they did that stunt. It's
unless
so
that
well
kid is
edited.
a stunt man.
Can't be. I don't know how they did it. Let's put it like this. You're hearing us talk about this. When you watch Wolves, there's a stunt that happens in this thing, and they slow it down and show it to you in slow motion. And I still couldn't figure out how they did it. And the thing that was funny is at the end of the stunt, you see Brad Pitt go, whoa, that's hot.
And it's the exact same feeling everybody
right. He's representing the audience in that scene. He's like, wow. But I thought Wolves, man, like I said earlier, man, I didn't think that the screenplay was anything to write home about, but what sells the movie and makes it work, because the movie is about them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because Amy Ryan is in the movie literally for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. The other woman who well, I don't know, I don't want to spoil it. Yeah. There's another character in there. She's in it for what, 5 minutes?
And maybe even less.
And then there's the other secondary story that's going on, but the movie is Clooney and Pitt.
Yep.
And I'll sign up for that. I can watch Clooney and Pitt together. That's great for me.
There's a scene in the movie where they're sitting in at a kitchen table in this house, and you see all these pictures of the Rat Pack on the wall. I'm like, come on, dude, because Ocean's 11 is a remake of a Rat Pack movie, and so here you have.
So wait a minute, the Sade Smooth Operator didn't give it away for you either?
Oh yeah, I mean
they're playing Sade Smooth Operator
from the beginning to the.
Oh my God, I'm like, dude, like, say less. You got me. I'm in there. I'm your guy. So. Yeah, so let's wrap this one up. I gave this movie 4 out of 5 stars. I loved Wolves. Wolves works for me, and it literally works because of the magnetism of the leads. Mm-hmm. That's literally why you're watching it for an hour and 47 minutes.
I turned it on and I started watching it, and they just sucked me in from the moment George Clooney shows up playing Smooth Operator. I'm like, I'm hooked. And my son was trying to go to bed, and he's like, I'm hooked too, and we just watched the whole thing.
And let's not forget the closing song. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Hey, watch this. We're not even trying to hide what we're doing. It's just the two of us. We're smooth operators. We're wolves. We're lone wolves who are forced to work together. And by the way, they never tell you their names in the whole film.
Nope.
I love that last scene
when they get ready to say it, and
he goes, maybe I'll let you know what it is.
When we
so that's why there's still Clooney and Pitt. They never gave us a name to distinguish between who you are in this thing.
Wolf 1 and Wolf 2.
Pretty much. All right, man. So I'm giving this movie, like I said, a B+, man. I love this film. It was great watching these guys. Charles,
I say solid B+ for me as well. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a great film.
So that wraps
and that's
it up.
on Apple Plus.
And on Apple Plus, and you can check it out this weekend.
Yes.
All right.